Hi everyone, welcome to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. I'm Rajni Bharara, your host. And again, I would like to read out this very important disclaimer. By watching our videos, you agree and understand that the information provided by our experts and attorneys, including comments and replies from users, is not legal advice. Use of information is at your own risk. All right, after this very important disclaimer, welcome back everyone. I'm Rajni Bharara, your host, and today we again have a very insightful episode which will be on US immigration and residency through investment. Today, we have again the pleasure of speaking with Prashant Ajmera, an expert in immigration law and a seasoned guide for investors looking to navigate the complexities of the EB-5 Immigrant Investor Program. In our first episode, we touched on the basics of the program, and today we are diving deeper into the key aspects of EB-5 investment options, industry trends, and the specific challenges Indian nationals face in this process. As the global landscape changes and US immigration policies evolve, it's more important than ever to stay informed about the pathways to residency. Whether you are an investor considering your options or someone curious about the future of US immigration, this episode is packed with valuable insights you won't want to miss. So, without any further ado, let's welcome Prashant Ajmera once again to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. Hi, Prashant. Welcome back to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show.
Once again, it's good to be back here, and looks like that interest is there. And I think we could not cover even after 1 hour and 20 minutes episode, the first one. So I think we have to do second one back to back, and I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to do that.
Yes, because we had good number of questions from the people, and also the questions that I prepared. I hardly could take two or three questions from that because we had so much to talk about on this topic. So I'm really looking forward to the second episode of EB-5 Immigrant Investor Program, how it can open doors to US residency. And but Prashant, before I ask my first question to you, I would like to tell our audiences that we are live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and also on Twitter, which is X now. So the handle is Immigration Talk Show. So don't forget to subscribe to us. And if you have any questions related to this topic, please post them in the comments below, and we'll be more than happy to take them and ask your questions from Prashant. So Prashant, now last week we talked a lot about the history of EB-5, how it came into existence, what does it actually mean. But today, my very first question that I would like to ask you is about the two types of investment that EB-5 has. So the EB-5 program, it allows for two types of investments: direct investment and through regional centers, right? We also talked about it in our last program. But could
Right.
you please explain the difference between the two? I think we did talk about this in our
Yes,
previous
we did.
episode. Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. But still, for the
So
one who will be joining us today for the first time,
right.
if you
Yeah.
can please give
So
them a.
yeah. Obviously. So the direct investment is only came into existence only in April 2022 when the new EB-5 regulations was introduced.
Mhm.
Now, what is direct investment is that you are having a business in USA and you want to expand your business and you are asking for an investment in your company, then it becomes a direct investment. That's the one way. Or you are a foreigner and you are
Mhm.
coming to a USA and starting your own business in anywhere in USA, creating a 10 full-time jobs, and you are making an investment of either 800,000 or a million and a 50 based on the location of the business. And that is called the direct investment. That means one business and one EB-5 investors. As simple as that. But the amount and the requirement for the job creations doesn't change. But
Mhm.
if in your business, whether you are a foreigner or whether you are a local person, uh, or American business, I mean, and you want to raise more money through an EB-5, or you can say that you want to invite more EB-5 investment into your business, new business, then it should be under the regional centers. What do I mean by regional centers? That in USA, the several tracts of the census is combined together, and based on that one, the geographical geographical area is defined as
Mm-hmm.
a regional center, and for that, the company are making an application to the USCIS that define a particular geographical area as a regional centers. And what they are showing in that in that particular geographical area, it could be anywhere in USA, it is the unemployment in that area is higher, time and 1.5 times higher than the national average. So, for example, if the unemployment in the state is 5%, then they are showing that in this particular geographical area, what we have shown, there the as per the government census, the unemployment is time and a half more. So it's a 7.5%. So that one is defined as a regional center. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that also requires the permissions from the Security and Exchange Commission, SEC, as well. So this is the main fundamental difference between the two, that a direct investment is the one business, new business, and a one EB-5 investors. Whereas the regional centers, it could be two investors to up to 200 or 2000 investors, depending on the size of your projects. So that's the fundamental difference between the two.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for answering the question, Prashant. Prashant, now coming to my next question. So, which industries or sectors tend to attract the most EB-5 investors, and are there certain sectors that are more popular, among Indian investors?
See, the yes, obviously, people would generally the people when they come to our office, they are asking for the typical business in which South Asian community is involved, which is gas stations, convenience stores, truck stops, restaurants, and
Hmm.
hotel and motel,
Right.
which are readily available. But uh, the because of the job creation requirement, the 10 job creation requirement, and the way in which these jobs are calculated for direct and indirect jobs, you will see consistently that the projects which are being put it in front of the most of the investors are real estate. So it could be a real
Hmm.
estate developments of the hotel or motels or the student housings or old people's homes or an apartment buildings or a mixed use property, but it would be most of the time you will find real estate. The reason being that when you are building a building, 5 story, 10
Hmm.
story, 25 stories, it creates a lot of jobs in every aspect, starting from the foundations to all the way to the finishing the store, in the building, and then people working in that place after the building is finished and it's open to the public. So because of that, 99% of the time people have seen the business, they are related to the real estate. And people don't have a choice. But right now I see in market one or two projects where they have brought in the some of the leading brand or franchisees of the USA, which is
Hmm.
already known to us, like Pizza Hut, Burger King, the Taco Bells, Dunkin' Donuts, and 31 Baskin Robbins. Those ones, those franchises, not the company directly, but there are companies in USA who has more than 500 stores in 22 states in USA. Now they have come
Hmm.
up with a model whereby they are raising the money to develop their next five EB5 programs or five new stores of the Pizza Hut for under the EB5
Hmm.
program. So that's the for the first time I have seen, but otherwise it has remained. So it means a lot other business has come into, but they are always in isolations. Like I have seen the truck companies, I have seen the oil companies. In earlier days, I have seen the ski resort. Then before that, I have seen the it was what was it was a farming, yeah, cashew farming in
Hmm.
California was there. But those businesses are no more means inviting the EB5 investment, and now the compliance requirement has increased, that most of the peoples and companies are remaining in real estate market.
Okay, okay. All right. I actually have a question because today, just today, we did a show with an immigration litigation attorney where we talked about, that DHS is actually illegally targeting and blacklisting Indian-owned businesses and Indian-owned companies. So, I would like to ask something about that also, but
Sure.
but not. Yeah, but not right now, maybe in a little bit. But before that, Prashant, I would like to know from you that, for an Indian investor who's looking for stability and maybe streamlined process, so would you say regional centers are generally safer bet compared to direct investment, or maybe are there, other circumstances where direct investment might be more beneficial?
See, everybody, by our culture, by our natures, entrepreneurships, we would like to do business ourselves because we believe that my money would be safe. Why do I give a money to some unknown person or an unknown
Right.
company rather than I
Yeah.
do business by myself? Or probably
Mm-hmm.
I'll do business with my relatives or friends and I'll invest with them so my money would be safe. So there are three options are there when a client comes to me and I tell them that yes, you can do business yourself. Number one,
Mm-hmm.
you can do a business with your friends and relatives, or you can do a business under the regional centers. The bottom
Right.
line remains is that if you are doing a business by yourself, then do you have an expertise of doing a business in America successfully? Do you know the market enough? Do you know the what business you are going to do it? How you going to do it? Do you have enough advisors and lawyer with you who can,
Mm-hmm.
and the other business advisors who can advise you on this ones? If you have never been in the USA or you are just gone there as a visitors and then you say that you want to start a hotel and build it, it would be very, very difficult. So the second option comes is for the people that, oh, I have my friends or relatives and they are in this business and they are starting a new business. Can I invest into that one? Of course you can invest, and that is allowed under the direct investment. But my questions and my advice to the people would be that can you ask your friends or relatives the same tough questions which you would ask to an unknown company? That means
Right.
says how long this business is being done, what is the success rate, business plannings, where it is being done, how my money is going to be structured, what I'm going to be paid back, when I'll be paid back. All these questions which you ask to an unknown company or a regional centers company, if
Mm-hmm.
you are in a position to ask that questions and also getting a right answers from your friend and relatives with whom you are making an investment, go for it. But
Right.
many of times I have seen, Rajni, that the relatives and friends, when the investment is being made by the
Mm-hmm.
investors in India or in other neighboring countries and South Asian countries, they have no idea or no clue. Oh, I have given it to my friend and he's taking care of everything. He's taking care
Mm-hmm.
of.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if that is the situations, you are in a bad position. So you can go ahead and do that one. So basically, you have to ask questions, and if you cannot ask questions, take a help of a investment advisors or an immigration attorney, and ready to pay like some small fees who can give you an advice and do a due diligence for you, and then say,
Mm.
"Okay, how do I make an investment?" If you cannot ask these
Right.
questions, do not make an investment. Whereas in regional centers, I told you last time as well, the questions to ask is very simple. Few questions will make you immediately. Since how long you are in the business?
Mm.
When did you get your regional center approval? When did you get your project approvals? How much money you are putting in your project? Your money. How much
Mm-hmm.
percentage you are raising under the EB-5? What job you are creating?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you ask these basic questions and how you're going to pay my money back, you will get a fairly good idea that what kind of investment you are making. Because everybody's when they're promoting their EB-5 projects, all looks everything good in paper. But most of the companies who are coming to in India or Pakistan and other countries, they are not the developers, they are not the business
Mm-hmm.
owners, they are the marketing agents who are coming to in India or coming
Right.
to the means everywhere. And if something goes wrong between them, then where do you go? And this is where I ask people that you have to see the structures, that how it is being structured, and who are behind people behind the regional centers, promoters, founders, people investing, the bank who has given a loan to them in USA. All these 7 or 8 questions, 10 questions you ask, and if you get a right answers, you will get your comfort level. You don't have to probably read the 300, 400 pages of the PPM. They call it private placement memorandum. because some of the projects
Mm,
come in front of me and they say that okay, we are raising this. What is that your project? Oh, it's my first project. Sorry.
mm,
Right
mm,
there, you say no. I know
mm.
person may not be dishonest, but looking to the complexities of EB5, it can get into the problems. So if it is the first, second projects of the company, I tend to avoid it, to be honest with you, recommend it to my client.
Okay, okay. I think fair enough. But with this, Prashant, I would also like to ask you that, are there any specific, maybe geographic regions in the US that are seeing a surge in regional center investments because of the government maybe backing up the infrastructure projects? And if yes, then how will this might help Indian investors, benefit from these trends?
Well, see, under the new regulations, yes, there is a 2% quota of the EV5
Okay.
is reserved for the infrastructure project. But till date, that project hasn't come into the existence. I haven't seen that project has
Oh.
come to. They might be going under the regulatory requirement to get the regional centers approved, to get the project approved. So probably in the next 6 months, we might see like an infrastructure project means they are building roads, they are building a dams, or they are building some bridges, or might be creating a port, or
Mm-hmm.
those kind of infrastructures they are creating it. They might come under the EB5 projects for the infrastructures. I've seen recently, just day before yesterday, came to me. The program was National Interest Program under the EB5. They given an approval to this particular projects. It's one particular company who has won the contract from the NASA to build
Okay.
the next space stations, to have a private means the to means the trip to the space, what Elon Musk
Mm.
and everybody is talking about it.
Yeah.
So now they are trying to raise money for an EB5 purpose, and that one has got the approval as a national interest waiver. So I've seen the national interest waiver, just they got it last week, actually on Monday, this Monday only they got it. And they share with me that now they want to come to in India to raise the money under the EB5, because now the
Wow.
approval and everything is there. But infrastructure project, which you asked me, still I haven't seen any projects. But yeah, it could be
Mm.
a more safer for people to do it. But it depends on the local governments or PPP model, private partnership model, whereby they can come up with the infrastructure. But I haven't seen any such project yet.
But otherwise, are there any specific geographic regions in the US that are maybe more beneficial for investment?
Generally, the projects which have come where the people has gone is the California,
Okay.
than Washington DC or Seattle area. That's where the
Okay.
original one of the top company was located, and they have done a lot of investments in Seattle area.
Mm.
Miami is the whole state is regional centers or a high unemployment area. So there are a
Mm-hmm.
lot of projects are coming up, and they need a lot of developments and hotels being built up.
Mm-hmm.
Then Texas, New York states, I have seen the projects coming up
Mm-hmm.
as well. So these are the things that are happening all over the USA in East Coast and West Coast. But in the Midwest, I
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen that much surge or projects coming up. But there are projects, small projects has come up. So it's all over the USA, because see, it's a census tracts, what they call it is a small community area where you put it
Mm-hmm.
together and it shows the unemployment. So it could be anywhere. Like even if sometimes
Right.
people used to ask that how can be a high unemployment area in a New York? But what they
Mm.
done is that New York has a different county. So in the different counties, they've taken only Bronx County, which is highly unemployed areas. And if you are joining with that highly unemployed area, the adjacent good Manhattan area, then it becomes your
Mm-hmm.
regional centers where you will do your projects in New York. So they've taken an
Mm.
legal advantage of that one, that they're joining a certain weaker area of the city, joining with the
Mm-hmm.
good area of the cities, and then come up with the project and taking an advantage of the job creation, direct and indirect. Yeah.
Okay, but also Prashant, like I said, we had an episode that we did with an litigation attorney today on DHS, targeting illegally targeting the Indian-owned businesses and blacklisting them. So, if anything of this sort happens with somebody who has invested or maybe who has started a business in the US, then what do you think? What options that the business owner has?
See, these businesses, what they are targeting is, I'm not aware of the what you are referring to, but generally that could be the reason that hiring people illegally, that they are, and that's why they're being blacklisted. Whereas in
Okay.
EB-5, if you are coming there, you are supposed to hire, whether it's EB-5 or not, you are supposed to hire only people who has a right to work in United States or any country, where you hire people who have, but the investors, means the business owner's interest is that if I pay a little bit less than a minimum wage to this immigrants who could be a students, illegal immigrants, or anybody, then it will reduce my cost. And for doing that one, the government is working very, very hard to, in every country, not in USA, in other countries also, I have seen it, to ban these people, because you are taking away the job from the local people, and then you are hiring these illegal immigrants or people who are students who are not supposed to work, or people who are on work permit but become an unauthorized. So they might be blacklisting them, but I haven't seen anybody being blacklisted in EB-5 categories. Yes, there might be a court disputes and things like that, because generally they will not dare to hire the illegal immigrants or doing something illegal activity. If they do, yes, obviously they will be blacklisted then as well.
Yeah.
And particularly to give you an answer to that as well further, that there were a lot of foreigners, people from China's and other countries were coming and making an investment in EB-5 under the new rules. The government has made it that is only American citizens and American green card holders can involve into the regional center business. And you have to do a due diligence, you have to do the security clearance, you have to make a declarations that you have been never gone bankrupt, or you have never filed for the chapter 11. All those things you have to show, then only your project would be approved. So now in the new projects you will never see somebody from in India or somebody from China or Vietnam or other countries, or even Latin America, are coming and joining hand with their families and friends, become a partner and do the EB-5. Now that is not allowed anymore. You can be a
Okay.
representative with them and market that, but you cannot be a part of that EB-5 regional center project. So that
Wow.
government has stopped that door for the foreign investors to come into the EB-5 regional center business.
Okay, okay. All right. Thank you so much for answering the question, Prashant. Now I would like to, come to my next question, which is, Prashant, as you know, that India has emerged as one of the largest sources of EB-5 investors, right? So what factors do you think are driving this surge in interest among Indian nationals?
Simple. The EB-5 line, I means the EB-2 and EB-3 line is becoming longer and longer. So the parents who can afford and people who can afford EB-5s want to get their green card as soon as possible. That's
Right.
one, those who are already in America. Now that data is known to the people in India as well. So now the parents are thinking that if my child is going abroad, then should I give him a green card now so he doesn't have to worry about it? I will pay the local student fees, and that would be the second factor. Third factor is people who could not move to USA when they were young, between 20 and 30. But now they are in the age of 40, or I would say 35 and 49 or 50. And their children are just teenagers. So if they have a money, they are thinking that, you know what, I wanted to go when I was young, but I could not go. I did well in India, but still, I wanted to always settle in America. I want my children to study in America, and I want to take an EB-5. So these are the three different factors or three different categories I see people, that this is why they are looking at the EB-5 investment to getting a faster green card, which is not available. Because as I told you in the last episode as well, until 2010, the EB-5 10,000 quota from 96 till
Right.
2010, it was never fully subscribed. The quota was always 2,000, 3,000 green cards issued. And that is also in around 2000 and time like that. Before that, there were no takers. People were not even aware of the EB-5 category.
Yeah.
And the government also, USCIS was also like least bothered about it. In those
Mm.
days, there were not even a five attorneys in USA. I'm talking about 1998, 1999, who can say with confidence that I can do an EB-5,
Wow.
because nobody has done it. Even like the
Yeah.
lawyer with whom I was working, his name is Henry Libman. He is known as a grandfather of the EB-5. He was an immigration
Mhm.
attorney. How he got into
Mhm.
the EB-5 business? The two Chinese businessmen came in his office in Seattle, and he says that we have $1 million. We would like to do an EB-5.
Mm.
And the Henry says that, look, I've never done it. I just read it. If you have a patience, then we will work with you. And then he basically started his own regional centers. He closed his practice and established his regional centers and obtained the EB-5 regional center, which was one of the most successful regional centers in America. He's called American Life, out of Seattle. So this is how
Mhm.
the lawyer entered into a EB-5 business, and still he has
Yeah.
raised more than a $1.5 billion in EB-5 from China and Taiwan, Korea, Japan, from all over the world,
Mhm.
and he has done more than 40 projects under the EB-5, and they were all direct equity investments. So it was one of the great company. But after that, after
Mhm.
2010, you see more and more attorneys and projects are coming up. But at the time, there were not that many projects.
Okay, okay. So, and Prashant, you already would be knowing this, that that the cultural focus of Indian families has always been education, right?
Hmm.
So, do you think that educational institutions or maybe real estate around university towns might become a more attractive sector for Indian EB-5 investors?
In what respect? Means like they want to go near to the Boston's or California's and Chicago's and that
Mhm.
university
Yeah,
place?
right, right.
No, no. Actually, by US immigration rules, that say, for example, your project is in Berkeley, California, that doesn't
Hmm.
mean that you have to be in California. You can stay
Okay.
anywhere in USA. Even your investment is in one state and you are staying in other states, there is no restriction to it. So
Hmm.
that doesn't make a choice that, okay, my project is in California, so I have to stay in California, or my project is in Massachusetts, so I have to be in a Massachusetts. No, it means your project can be anywhere and you can be anywhere under the regional centers. But if it is direct projects, then obviously you tend to stay in that same state, which could be Florida, which could be means Georgia, whatever the state where you made an investment. So that doesn't make any difference for a people to do it, because you have a movement wherever you want to go and stay.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much again for answering the question, Prashant. I have a lot of questions still pending. I would like to take them, but let me quickly take some of the questions from the Facebook groups, because there are a lot of questions posted by the people, and after that, we are going to dive into, the questions posted by people over here on YouTube. Hi, Supriya. Let me quickly say hi to all of them. Supriya is here. Madhuri is here. So they have posted a couple of questions, which I'm going to take, but after the Facebook questions. For now, let me quickly take the Facebook, share my screen and take the Facebook questions. So, okay. So, Prashant, happy to okay, somebody posted this. Pavi, Pavithiran, he put happy to announce our upcoming project quality. It's okay. No, this is just a post. Okay. So Van has posted something 9 hours ago, and she said, "Hi friends, we created a stock investor group for EB-5." I think this is again, but let me quickly read it out. Hi friends, we created a stock investor group for EB-5 investor visa USA discussions. It's currently free to join. Okay, maybe she's promoting. Okay, Deepak is here and he has said, can you recommend an attorney experienced in EB-5 category immigration who can assist with obtaining a green card through investment in my own business? I think
Okay.
we definitely
That's
can
that's a
recommend
very
you,
good
right?
question. Very good question. So what's his name?
His name is Deepak Kumar.
Deepak Kumar. Yes, Deepak Kumar. You don't need only an immigration attorney. When you do your own business, you need a four professionals.
Mhm.
First professional is that you need a business plan writer who can write your business plan for an EB-5 purpose. That's number one. Number two, you need a business lawyer in the state in which you are putting up your business, because in US, as you know, that the business laws are different from state to state. So you need a second business lawyer who can write your business document. That means your company incorporations, your company's memorandum, article of association, memorandum of association, bylaws, and agreements, and all those things. The setting up the whole legal structures of your company. So you need that second one, professionals. And then you need an immigration lawyer who will basically work with you, work with these two people, and review this document to make sure that your EB-5 business plan is in compliance with the immigration law. Also, your business structure or business entity, what you're set up, is also, and the investment, the way in which you are trying to make, is also in compliance with the immigration requirement. Most of the people, Rajni, and the fourth person or fourth professional you need is somebody like me who is sitting in India. If you are bringing money from your India, then we help you to put up these documents together and transfer the money from India or from your home country to USA by opening up your separate bank account in America and all these things. Then we do it. So you need these four different peoples to do it. There are certain lawyers are there who can do this one. Every EB-5 lawyer is not expert in doing your own business, because by statistics, Rajni, there are only, I would say, 5 to 7% people doing an EB-5 in their own business. The 90 to 92% people are doing in regional centers because they are coming from abroad, or they are students, or they are already working in their own industries like an IT professional or an engineers or doctors or whatever they are doing it. So they do not get involved. But yes, there are people who are already on L1 visa. There are people who are already on E2 visa from other countries, or they are on H1 visa. They want to start their own business, and they do their own business, and then they do it. Because most of the time when we get this kind of a client, Rajni, what happens is that they've taken certain steps on their own without taking a legal advice,
Wow.
and
Okay.
and then we have to rewind them or scrap them and start the new. So my advice to Deepak would be that you have to get a hold of before you get a hold of an immigration lawyers, or you decide on an immigration lawyers, then hire him to advise you, to do the recommend you for the business plan, business lawyer, and then three people in the team will work together to make your business successful. It's not going to be only one immigration lawyers. I mean, we do that one, but most of the times what we have faced is basically that many a time we have to scrap their deal because they've registered a company very quickly, they've bought a property very quickly, and everything by local lawyers. And then they want to do an EB-5, this whole exercise becomes a useless. So do not take any steps if you want to invest in your own business unless you have at least these three professionals with you: your business plan writer, your a business lawyer, and your immigration lawyers in advance. Then only it will work. But
Okay.
it is
Okay.
possible. There are few lawyers are there who can do it. It would be, your fees wise, it would be a little bit expensive because this is a customized job. But yeah, there are lawyers who can do this one for you. Means our law
Definitely.
firm is doing that one, and we can assist that one as well.
Yeah, definitely. Deepak, you can directly reach out to Prashant, and Prashant can definitely help you in this case, right, Prashant? I think.
Yeah, sure, absolutely, absolutely.
And Deepak, to reach out to Prashant, you can give him a call on his number. This is his India number. So just make sure that you add +91. So +91 99 742 53030. I would like to repeat it: 99 742 53030. Or you could also email him at prashant@ajmeralaw.com. And you can also visit his website, which is www.ajmeralaw.com. All right, and yes, but Prashant, I actually would like to come to you and ask you that what mistakes do generally do people make when they want to apply for this visa and make an investment? What are these mistakes that you would want these people to be very, very careful of?
Okay, I'll give you an example. Just now I dealt with the case in like 3 months back. The gentleman wanted to start a one leading Indian food chain from India to start that restaurants in USA. And he already bought by American way. He bought the real estate and he created a separate company for the business. So you have a one company created which is for the real estate which he purchased. He purchased the restaurants, and he created a separate company for his franchisee or for a business. And the investment what he is going to make in a business would be only 2 to 300,000. The investment which he has made in a real estate was 1.4 million. So now, as these are two companies separately, and investment amount is not happening 1.5 million, which will create 1.1 million and 50,000, which will create a 10 full-time jobs. Basically, we had to scrap these two companies and then create a holding companies or make them subsidiary companies. So that's the mistake he made. And then
Wow.
he paid the monies in a different ways, that he took some money from his wife's accounts, he took money from some his own accounts, then his brother in India has remitted the money. So he did this transaction of 1.4 million dollars for buying that property because he was getting a good deal. And then he came to us that now I want to do an EB-5, and it was becoming a very complicated, and they says, you know what, forget it, I don't want to do this one, probably I'll go with the regional centers. So you
Okay.
already taken a steps to do this one, and to go backward, it becomes a more expensive exercise. And that's by our culture. We do not want to take an advice of a lawyer, don't want to take an advisor of business lawyers, business plan writers. That's the way we don't work. We want to go to them lawyers only when there is a legal problems. Whereas the
Mm,
Western culture is that you go to a lawyer first so you don't get into the legal problem.
exactly. Yeah.
And these lawyers do charge a hefty fees, means I admit that one, but that will save you a lot of things. Like this particular client almost spent 13 14 thousand dollars fees just to get those answers. And then he
Wow.
had to close down. He says, okay, there's no way it's going to happen, it's like driving me crazy, I don't want to do it anymore.
Oh my
So,
God.
so get the lawyers, immigration lawyers, good lawyers first, to make sure that they know what they're doing. It, they have an enough knowledge. Be ready to pay the fees. Don't bargain on the fees, because that 30, 40, 50,000, $75,000 is your good investment to make your EB-5 application successful.
Right.
But if
Absolutely.
you start bargaining on that one, yes, there are number of immigration lawyers are there, but I have seen their work over the period of time. It's a really lousy work.
Right, right. And precaution is better than cure every time, right? So, so
I see a couple of questions here. I think these. How do I handle the I-25 petition to remove conditions on my green card? Will the business failure impact my ability to remove this? So this ability to obtain a permanent green card. So this question is Supriya.
okay. So
The
yeah, let's
business.
take one by one. So, Priya, okay. Her first question is actually, I am an Indian national who invested $1.1 million dollars in a restaurant business in New York City under the EB-5 program in 2018. I received my conditional green card, but the business unfortunately failed due to unforeseen circumstances. I repaid the loan and returned the investment funds to the investors. How do I handle the I-829 petition to remove conditions on my green card? Will the business failure impact my ability to obtain a permanent green card? What do you have to say?
Business failure is not a key. Your key is hiring 10 people, because this is under the old rules. So if she can show that she created with that business whatever the time it was running, and she has created that jobs, then she should be in a position to remove the conditions. It's never said, the law doesn't say that business should be successful and it should go into the public stock market or become a public listed company. No, but if the job is created, then she should not have a problem. If it is not created, at least for a minimum period of 24 months, then yeah, it can create a problem. But I think I'm sure that she must have an attorney in USA if she's already there and now talking about
Yeah.
removal of the conditions that will help her out.
Mm-hmm. But Prashant, before I get into my next question, a lot of people, like you said, they get attorneys who are who they think will be able to help them, but suddenly, but because of maybe the experience or because of some other problems, they get into more and more difficulties. So, how would the one choose the correct attorney for their EB-5 cases?
See, all the attorneys are not experts in immigration.
Mm.
All the immigration attorneys are not experts in every area of immigrations, whether it's America, Canada, Australia, or New Zealand. And that's my personal experience with my 32 years of an experience. I've seen it. So I work with, associated with the lawyers in USA about five or six. And I know that this attorney is good at this particular aspect, this attorney is good at this particular aspect, and so on and so forth. One of the trick which I have found that whether the lawyer is good in a particular area or not, look at their
Okay.
website.
Oh,
look
okay.
look at their websites. If you
Okay.
find a decent articles and decent informations about a particular topic or a particular visa, then you know that he's practicing, because then only he will be writing this one. If
Mm-hmm.
you see an attorney who has just a one page of an EB-5 and they said we do EB-5, stay away from them. They have not done it.
Okay, okay. So website, you really need to check the website and you need to authenticate it, right? So
Yeah, authenticate. That's the one part. The second one is ALA, American Immigration Lawyer Association is there. In
uh-huh.
those one, they have a special sections on the immigrations, and there are very top immigration lawyers are there who are specialized in EB-5. So if you are looking at the EB-5s, I can give you a 10 names. They have done an extensive work. They've done a number of articles. They've written a books on it. They've done a shows on that one. On ALA websites, you will see their blogs as well. They go on a panel and talk about the EB-5. A couple of lawyers are there and who help the American government to draft the laws. These are the
Mm,
lawyers you want to go to take your EB-5, not the next lawyer who has done your H1. That, yeah, my H1 application was very successful with this particular lawyer, so I'll go with him as well. No. I mean,
mm,
like, would you go to an orthopedic surgeon when you have a heart problem? No, you don't. So
no.
similarly, you have to. I mean, that you have to find a specialized, and it becomes not specialized but super specialized. Like this,
Mm,
the Deepak asked me questions about the direct EB-5. I don't think that there are 10 lawyers in USA who can do direct EB-5 with confidence,
wow. Okay,
because
that's a big
because
statement, right?
yeah, because see, it's a very customized job. You have to do it like it's buying a
Mm,
ready-made shirt. I can buy it
mm,
from the 100 stores, but if I want to have my customized shirt, I have to go to the stores, get my clothes, then go to a tailor's, get my shirt done, and then do it. So if I'm looking for a customized shirt in New York, there are only probably five tailors. But if I'm looking at ready-made shirts, there are 1,000 stores are there.
absolutely.
So your direct EB-5 is your customized job, and for
Mm.
that you need that particular lawyer. Yes, he is going to charge more, but he will do your job extraordinarily.
Wow, wow, those are some great examples that you use. Thank you so much for that, Prashant. Now, before I take another viewer question, I think Madhuri is the next one. But before I take Madhuri's question, I would again like to take some Facebook questions. So, if you can see, there's this anonymous person who has posted this question: How long it takes to get a receipt number from USCIS? We did apply. Okay, it's a huge figure 526 485 765 together on September 2nd week and still waiting to get receipt numbers.
Yes, they are. They are right. It used to get the receipt numbers in every categories within a 30 days or a 60 days. Now, because of the backlog of the COVID is affecting everywhere within USA, and it's also affecting in consulate abroad as well. So now what they're doing is that they are giving file numbers or send a receipt to the applicant that we have received your file. But what people are looking for is their online status, and they are looking for the online status they can change and check, and then they're looking for an official letter from the government. It will take several months. It will take
Several
three to
months.
four, yeah, 3 to 4 months to get a letters, and to get an online, it might take even a longer time because they don't have enough people to put into the data. So where the computer is connected, and now you can put your file number into that, and then check your status that am I getting any news from the government or not. So it is taking a backlogs, and it's taking a longer time.
Okay, and a lot of people have also commented here, and some Gopal says now it nowadays it takes approx weeks, and one person said 1 month. However, you can call USCIS or use Emma Chat to get the receipt numbers earlier. Does that work,
See,
Prashant?
these are all the blogs is
Ah,
good enough there to confuse people. Don't read the
mm.
blogs. Always look
Okay.
at the USCIS websites. And
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have an attorneys, go to an authenticated source only. And my experience, Rajini, do not bother to call again and again or send an email to them. What is the status of my file? What is the status of my file? Now they have a thousands and thousands and millions of files. If they start replying to every email, they will never finish any work done in their office.
Right, right. Absolutely. That's
So,
correct.
so basically, have a patience and do not make an inquiry unless you think that it has gone beyond the certain times. But every week you get up and say Monday morning and let me send an email. It's another emails. It doesn't cost you anything. Basically, you are bothering them. And if the officer is nasty, he might take it adverse decision
Right.
against you. I've seen
Wow.
those kind of cases as well, that they make an
Mhm.
inquiries or start doing the things as well. So have a patience. Keep the receipts of everything with you, or the communications you have done it. They are doing an extremely very well, good work, and they go in a very systematic manners all over the world, in America, in Canada, in UK, Australia. They have a very nice systems going on, but yes, it's taking a time because they have a less manpower, less visa to issue, number of visa they can issue, than the number of people waiting in a line. So then people, those who are waiting in a lines, are getting means desperate. When I'm going to get my turn? When I'm going to get turn? And particularly in
Yeah.
USA, the immigrant visas is by quota, and that quota
Mhm.
takes always their own time. Even if the officer wants to give you a visa, but if he's run out of the quota, he cannot do it. It has to be by next 1st October.
Right, right. So have patience, right? And
Yep.
stop bothering. Yeah.
Don't do it.
Stop
Don't do
sending
it.
those emails and stop bothering. Right, right. So Prashant also here, Anubha is here and she has posted a question asking what is, I mean, you already have explained this, but because we'll be sharing this episode with definitely with her. So if you can please tell her what is the process of EB-5? Could anyone explain in detail and what all will be required?
Process of EB-5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's like going back to this episode one.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
I know.
So
But if you can,
very
explain
quickly, very
very
quickly,
quickly.
I would say the EB-5 is an employment-based visa category number 5. So if you are a foreign individual who is ready to make an investment in a new business of a $1 million and 50,000 anywhere in USA, in any business, legal business, and create a 10 full-time jobs, and if you can show your source of fund is legitimate acquired by you, then you are entitled to a conditional green card for a period of 2 years. And then if you have created that jobs and your investment is there after you received your green card, then it becomes a permanent green card for you. The business you can do it is in a three ways. Either you can start your own business, new business, it has to be a new business. You cannot buy an existing business. Or you can go in a business with your friends or relatives or people whom you know. Or the third option is that in making an investment into with the regional centers. That means there are ready-made government approved, not the government owned. Government approved businesses are there, which are known as the regional center business. You can make an investment into this one, and once you made an investment, the petition can be filed with the USCIS in USA. Once it is approved, if you are in USA, then you apply for your adjustment of status. Under the new rule, you can do an adjustment of status simultaneously. If you are out of the USA, then once your petition is approved, then you do your DS 260 with the National Visa Center, NVC, and then appear for your interview at the consulate in your respective or nearest American consulate. They will call you for an interview. So this is in a nutshell the process is. Your investment will reduce if your location of the physical address location is high unemployment area or a rural area, then it will be reduced from 1,050,000 to 800,000. There is a specific quota there, which is a 10,000 green card is issued per year for all over the world, and per country it cannot be more than 700 or 7%. So and after the all the visa is exhausted, and if the quota is left over, then it will be given to the on a priority basis. But initially, they will give only 700 to the India, 700 to China, 700 to the Vietnam, because these are the three countries where the largest number of EB-5 application is coming. But the other countries, whatever the number is coming, they're doing. And say, for example, if they have reached to a 5,000 visas, then the rest would be distributed amongst the other countries in basis of the priority. So this is in nutshell the process is about the EB-5. It's quite complex and it's very much document required for your business plans and your EB-5 projects and the source of fund. Yes.
Right, and because she has a second part also where she's saying what all will be required. So if you talk about if you talk about documents, what all documents will be required for this?
See, if you are doing your own business, then you require an EB-5 business plan. You require your company registers, and then you are starting your own business and you are showing your own investments. So that means your legal infrastructures and everything will be there. And now the second part is very important is the source of fund, from where you are bringing the money, whether it's your own earned money, whether you are getting a gift from the parents, you are inherited the money, you are selling the properties, or you're selling your stocks, or you're selling all this one. So the source of fund is also equally important. On an average, a good EB-5 file will have anything between 1,500 to 2,000 pages. So it's a quite bulky file, you can say we are talking about. If you do the regional centers, then all the legal work is done by them, and you are just making an investment. So you will be required to provide the documents related to your source of fund. That means from where the money is coming, in variety of ways it might be coming in.
Okay, okay. Let me quickly take one more question from the group. And okay, any recommendations for regional centers with low fees? Most charge $80K. Did we take
Yeah,
this last?
I think this question was last time as
Yeah,
well.
I think we took this last week, right?
Last
Okay, so
yeah.
let
See,
me take this one then.
yeah.
This anonymous member says, anyone from Philippines here who applied for EB-5, how long does it take to get an interview appointment? Been waiting for 2 months now after we got the documents qualified letter. Thank you.
Probably it might be some backlog situation, because Philippines is not on a waiting list, so they should have their interviews pretty soon. But another problem could be that they may not have an officers to take the EB-5 interview.
Oh, okay. That
I know
also
I mean, the
becomes a
Philippines
problem.
is a quite a big office, but sometimes it does happen because all the visa officers are not experts in all the visa categories, and it could be a possibilities that, like even in India, I'll give you an example that we have a five consulates where they take in interviews, but EB-5 interviews are only done in Mumbai and Delhi.
Okay. Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So it could be a possibility that they may not have an officer, or an officer is there, only one or two officers, and they have many files. So it might be taking a little bit longer. Again, hold on and wait. Don't bother them.
Okay. Okay. So this is Channa Reddy, and she says, anyone had success going through litigation against Regional Center for capital repayment? Please let me know.
It depends. Means yes, there are a number of cases are there. It's a
Mm-hmm.
quite expensive and the a long process of doing it. In certain cases, they have won the case where they got the money back. Many times they have not got the money back as well. So that has happened as well. So it depends what was done. And even if the court found the regional center people guilty, but if money is not there or money has been already gone into the projects, what can you do?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
that's
a
true.
quite a tough call.
Right. Okay, I think that's it from Facebook groups. Let me take our viewers' question now. So I
Madhuri
think
Madhuri
Suki,
Jain is here. I think she has posted
yes,
a couple of
Madhuri is here.
questions.
Yeah, she is expecting an answer. So let me quickly take Madhuri's question. Let me read it for you. What is the role of escrow accounts in EB-5 investments? Are escrow accounts required for regional center investments? Can escrow mitigate investment risk?
Under the new rules of the EB-5, EB escrow account is must and it should be by a third party. Yes, it can, and definitely it will mitigate because the escrow accounts, the person who is managing the escrow account will disburse the payment to the regional centers only when the work is being done. Then he will make sure that the uh, investment is required as and when the work is being done, or depending on the progress of the projects or project progress of the business. So it can reduce your investment on substantial basis, because see, if all the money goes into the account of all the investors, then all the money is available to them to use it. Whereas in escrow account, the money is not in the company's bank account, but it's a separately. And then the manager of the escrow account is making it sure that the money is disbursed as and when it is required, and depending on the expenses being made by the so regional centers business owners. So yeah, it does reduce the escrow accounts. That one we do a little bit different as well. Additionally, layer we do it that for our clients in India or outside in India, we try to open a bank account for them in USA in their own name, even if they don't have a visa or anything. And we try to bring all the money into their own accounts. Then they look at the projects and make an investment. So that way, the money is not going directly into the projects, but from their account in their home country to their personal account in USA, and then from personal account to the escrow account, and escrow account to direct to the means EB-5 investment. So that way we put an extra layers, and which helps many people to give a more safety to them. But definitely the escrow account does mitigate the kind of a risk one might think of it. Okay, they might use money whatever way they like it. And that's why it is created mandatory. Before April 2022, it was not mandatory, but now under the regional center, it is mandatory.
Okay, okay. Prashant, she also has one more part. She wants where she asks that what are the tax implications of EB-5 investments? How do you suggest the transfer of money takes place? Also, can EB-5 investors apply for other visa categories? What do you have to say?
What are the tax implications of investments? How do you suggest the transfer of money takes place? Also, can you, EB-5 investment, apply for other visa categories? Okay, so I presume that she's from India. That right now under the new since 2022 2020, the government of India has introduced the TCS, tax collection at source. So if you transfer the 100,000, you have to pay 20% more to your bank, and they will remit the tax in your name to the Indian tax authority. So basically, if you are transferring 800,000, you have to be ready with $1 million. But once the money is gone into your bank account, I mean, in your income tax account, in your next tax returns, you can claim the refund of that. So that
Right.
20% is there. Once you have obtained and made an investment into your EB-5, I've done it for many of my clients, that they have applied for their visitor visas, and they've got their visitor visas, and they've gone and seen their investment. That, okay, this is our regional centers, or what's progress is happening, and so on and so forth. Not the other way around. You cannot ask for a B1, B2 visa that I want to go to America to make an investment into EB-5. But if you have made an investment into EB-5 once, it is possible to get the non-immigrant visa B1, B2 to go and visit this one. Also, I advised to one of my recent client, they were looking for an EB-5. And how do we do quickly? So they were a
Mhm.
businessman in pharmaceutical industries. And he said, if you want to do quickly, then you do an L1 visa under the fast process. So you will get your L1 visa within a 2 months, 1 or 2 months time, or 15 days is actual process. And once you come into USA, then after 6 to 8 months, make your investments and apply for an EB-5 within USA, and you wait for your USA. So you are in USA within no time.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So, Madhuri, I hope you have got the answer for both your questions. Thank you so much for your questions. Let us know if you have a follow up, even if the show ends, and you can continue posting your questions in the comments below. We'll be taking them. We'll be trying to get an answer from Prashant maybe in our next episode, or we will maybe directly write to him and try to get
I'm,
an answer from
yeah,
him.
here is a question from Lokesh. I'm considering EB-5
Yeah,
visa
Lokesh
program
is
for my
also here.
son. Should I sell our ancestral property to invest the substantial amount required? Beyond the initial investment, I have concerns regarding uh,
Like living cost and expenses in the US. Second, return on investment ROI or interest earned. And third is repayment terms and exit strategies. And he has posted one more question. He says, will the invested amount yield sufficient returns to support my son's lifestyle and education in the US? Are there any additional financial factors I should consider? Please explain in detail.
Okay. So first of all, Lokesh, thank you for your questions. I know you have a very legitimate concerns you have raised. Very frankly, the EB-5 investment is not for a return on investment. The return on
Mhm.
investment is given is a very low, probably half a percent or a quarter of a percent. So this 800,000 is for getting your green card and not getting a return that whereby your son can go to an universities and pay money out of that one. So your return is going to be very minimal or not at all. Put it this way. That's number one. Number two, having a lifestyles. What it will do is that if your son has got the green card under the EB-5, and if he is within the state, it can reduce the education fees of your university substantially. So, for example, if you are going to California or any states, and if you go and stay there for a 1 year, then it will reduce your fees. So that would be the another things you want to take into the considerations. That's number two. And the exit strategies or repayment terms. For each regional centers, they have their own terms and conditions. You have to read their documents very carefully. In general, I would say or make a statement that most of the regional centers are taking your investment for a period of 5 years, even though the government says 2 years, because they say that the standard what has become in EB-5 industry is that in 2 years, no business is going to be financially viable or reach to a break even whereby they have enough money generated that they can pay back money to their investors. So generally, they like to keep the period of 5 years, sometimes 6 or 7 years. Also, they want to keep by options, and
Mhm.
then they will say that okay, we are going to do refinance of our business and we will pay the money back to you, or probably we will have another private equity come to us and make an investment and then we will pay back to you, or they'll say that we're going to sell our whole business to somebody and based on that one we're going to do it. But generally they do the refinance is the most common way to get it, because when you start your business, you are not getting the enough loan from the mortgage from the from the banks. But when the bank says that you have floated for a period of 5 years, now you have regularly revenue coming in your business, the government, a bank would be in a position to give you more money or refinance your business. So, and they will use that money to repay the investors. But Lokesh, you have to be careful because the way in which these structures are being done, you have to read it that who are the other lenders in your EB-5 structure. There could be a bank, there could be a private equity people, there could be a promoter themselves, and EB-5. Who are there? And in what preference the capital would be paid back. Are you at the top of the list, or you are at the bottom of the list, or in between? And for
Mm.
that, you have to read your agreement, that where do you stand that one. You can do it on your own, or probably you want to take in help of the, not an immigration lawyers, but probably your chartered accountants or a CPA in USA or security lawyers in USA. If they are asking you to pay a couple of $1,000, it's worth paying to them to do that work for you and give you an answers. If you are
Mm.
looking at the projects at random, then you want to go into more details, or you want to work with the some attorneys, whereby they already have shortlisted some good projects where they can recommend to you that these are the good projects to look at it and do it. So that is also possible as well. But otherwise, take an advice and from your immigration lawyers, from your security lawyers, and give you an answers what you're looking for if you cannot find it from your documents, because the document would be like 300 to 500 pages easily.
Wow. Okay. So that's the detailed answer, Lokesh. I hope this answer helps you. And but Prashant, would you like to answer him also about the exit strategies, because he is also asking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, the exit strategy is, the repayment is, as I said, I just mentioned that exit strategies generally it is mentions that we're going to do refinances. That means they've taken a 25 investors. After 5 years, the business would be generating the revenues. They will go back to the banks, and they've taken a 50% loan. They put up a 25% on their own. 25% is coming from the EB-5. But when it comes to paying back, they will go to the bank and ask them that, can you give us some more money, because now we are running it and we have taken this loan or investment, and we have to repay the investors for an EB-5, and that's the how they will, you will exit out of the EB-5 investment.
Right, right. And, Prashant, this again has been a very, very incredible conversation. But before I let you go and before I wrap up this session, I still have one last question for you. So, Prashant, being an immigration attorney yourself, in your experience, what are those common pitfalls, those the investors they normally fall into, and how can they avoid those, pitfalls?
See, the pitfalls is in EB-5 is that the, by our cultures in the South Asian communities, we depend on the reference and relatives and friends.
Mm.
We do not do the business in a South Asian community by documents. We do not hire a lawyer. We do not hire a CPA. That's not our way of working. But I depend on Rajni. Oh, you live in New Jersey. You have a friend who is building a new hotels. Make an investment. I'm telling you, your money is safe. That's
Right.
the biggest mistake people are making, whereby they are going after them. That
Mm.
okay. That's the first part. The second one is the, like what Lokesh has asked, by Indian standard or by Indian way, they are all very successful businessmen. They are
Mm-hmm.
looking for a very high return on EB-5.
Mm-hmm.
And there are projects which will promise you high returns. In my opinion, higher the return, the riskier the projects are. So
Mm.
don't get into that trap, because you know what happens in our stock market. Here is a stock which gives you a 3 times, 5 times, 10 times the investment returns, and you fell for it, and then you lose everything.
Mhm.
So do not
Yeah.
fall for that one, the high returns. And the third pitfalls or people are making mistakes is that there are projects available in the market where it's into the rural area,
Mhm.
where the processing is very fast. But in rural areas, some projects are good, but rural areas, it's a could be a possibility that business may not be successful. So that's the, before you make an investment into rural area for faster process, because you want to have a faster process and you made an
Mhm.
investment, don't do that one. Again, you will probably tend to lose the money. So, and
Mm.
my basic question is again those 5 questions which I said at the beginning: since how long they are in the business, since how long they are in the EB-5 business, Do
Mm-hmm.
they have a permission for EB-5 regional centers? Do they have a permission for their projects?
Mm.
Who are their immigration attorneys? Who are their business plan writers? Who are their security lawyer? Who is their the economist? And
Mm-hmm.
generally, a good company, EB-5 regional centers will have all these people on their website.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much, Prashant. I was actually about to ask you that are there some red flags? Are there some red flags that investors should look out for when choosing an EB-5 project? You actually have answered that, they should look out for these details, most
Yes.
importantly, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Before choosing the EB-5 project. So thank you so much again, Prashant, for a very amazing and insightful episode. It was such a pleasure speaking with you. We got to know so much and we learned so much about EB-5. I don't think that even, we did this episode for more than an hour and it is still enough because there are still so many details
I think
that we can.
Lokesh has come back with the questions that my money is
Okay.
locked in for a period of 7 years. Can you summarize the total amount I should consider? See, if you are Lokesh with your name, I presume that you are in India. If you are making an $800,000 investment, consider another 100,000 for the fees payable to the regional centers, U.S. attorney fees, and the USCIS fees. Anything between 70 to 100,000. If you go with a good attorneys or a good representative of the regional centers, they might be in a position to negotiate the fees, the management fees for you. We do it on a regular basis, and where we can reduce the the management fees or subscription fees, they call it. It's done. In India, on and above, you are considering another 20%. That means 900,000 becomes another 20%. That means you're looking at 1,080,000. So that's your
Mm,
straight away, it's you are looking at 1.1 million.
right,
That money would
right.
be in India, the 20%, but you have to come up with that money and do the means your investment strategies. But at the same time, if you are sending your son to a USA, then be ready with another 3 to 400,000, $2 to $300,000. Reason being that he's going to probably an undergrad school, then
Mm-hmm.
his living expenses, his tuition fees, he's traveling back and forth between India and USA as and when he wanted. So you are looking at something like probably 1.5 million altogether
Mm,
if undergraduates. If you are just sending your son, if the whole family is moving, then obviously your expenses. Again, my question would be whether you are a vegetarian or non-vegetarian, and whether you want to live in a modest apartment or you want to live in a lavish uh, house, and you want to drive a Toyota Corolla or you want to drive a BMW, then your cost of living will increase. And
yeah.
so, so $3 to $5,000 would be a bare minimum to survive. But then you can have a $25,000 a month, and still you don't have enough money, because if you keep eating outside the restaurants all the time and ordering the foods and going to the most expensive restaurants in New York City, then sky is the limit. Uh,
That's true. So
yeah.
one can't really say. It depends upon the kind of lifestyle you want to live, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Like kind of lifestyle you want to live. Like one of my EB-5 clients is coming back from now. I think he's got his citizenship and is coming back. And he posted his photo today, and he is in Amirat first class, business class. So each ticket is costing him $15,000. So the four family members are coming. So he has spent a good amount of money, and he's
Yeah,
flashing that, "Oh, guys, I'm coming back to India." So,
right.
and the same ticket could be $2,000.
Exactly. Yes, absolutely. So, Lokesh, it completely depends on the kind of lifestyle you want to live. So, if you want to live a really good quality of lifestyle, then like Prashant said, sky is the limit. But thank you so much for your question. And if you want to directly get in touch, and Lokesh, you and all other people watching us, if you directly want to get in touch with Prashant, so here are his details. You can give him a call at, this is his India number, so make sure you add +91, and the number is 99742533030. I would like to repeat it, 99742 53030. You can also email him at prashant@ajmeralaw.com. And you can also visit his website, which is www.ajmeralaw.com. Thank you so much, Prashant, again for being here. It was a great episode and hoping to see you very soon. I know next week you are busy, and then next week other
It's
things
the
are
Diwali
happening.
time for all of us. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So we'll see you
we
in
are
the
hoping to see
with
you
the
8th of November.
yeah, in the Indian New Year.
Right, right,
Hindu
exactly.
calendar's New Year. So anyway, happy
Exactly.
Diwali to all of you and all the listeners, and happy holidays. And see you in the new Hindu calendar in November 8th.
Right, right. We will be wishing everyone a good new year and a prosperous new year with a really good topic. So thank you so much again, Prashant, for being here. And to all of you, I would like to say that it was a great episode. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for posting your questions. I think somebody is again back. And
Lokesh, I understand the difference.
okay,
I
okay.
wanted to.
Lokesh says, I understand the difference. I wanted to understand the bare minimum. Thanks again. Thank you so much, Lokesh, for being here and for posting your questions. And guys, hoping to see you very soon. Until then, you guys take care and make sure you subscribe and keep on watching to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. But for now, I'll have to take your leave. I'm Rajni Bharara signing off. Bye for now.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.